Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. While others search for what they can take, a true king searches for what he can give.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to our channel / podcast over here at Broke Boy Media. We're trying out new cameras today.
Yay.
So I'm not sure if you can see Devin. This is our first time using Google Duo, which it's working out pretty great. We got these Logitech cameras, Amazon Prime Day.
Amazon Prime Day helped us out.
It was pretty awesome, man. But yeah, everyone, just want to say hello and welcome. Just before we get started here today, just want to let you guys know at home that you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and trying this new thing out on our YouTube channel. So give you more of a visual experience instead of just having like a still image the entire time. So
thanks Dakota for complaining.
Yeah, Dakota out there complaining and whatever. I don't know. He's like, oh, I don't know, man. I feel like you should get some cameras. And I actually started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? He actually might be onto something. But yeah, for all you audio listeners out there, if you want to view the video version of this podcast, you can look it up on our YouTube channel, but I just wanted to throw that out there. And as always, it's Devin and me back at it again. So how you been, buddy? You had a good weekend, whatnot?
There's just so much hype from last night. I don't even
know.
I couldn't even sleep last night. I was just watching videos over and over again.
You went to go see an Artist Self-Defense, and you're like, keep me updated. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay. And then it was just like, bring, bring, bring. I'm like, I keep sending you all these tweets through Twitter. I was like, I'm probably blowing up his phone right now, but like
I read every one. Like I was just like, I can't look at Twitter, but I can look at this quick little notification.
It's especially, man, we got the iWatch too. You're just like,
oh, I didn't have mine on. It would have been a lot easier.
Dang. Oh yeah, I always have mine on, but I put it on like I think it's theater mode in general. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. We'll get into our Lion King review later on in this episode. So we're gonna try something new and kind of talk about some news, some TV and film news, and
Marvel. Kevin Feige,
Daddy Feige at it.
Oh my
back
god!
At it again, man. It's gonna.
I think
crazy.
him and Phil Spencer should like have a partnership. They're just both gods.
Kevin Feige turning the MCU around. I mean, and Phil Spencer in general. And shout out to Phil Spencer really quick for dropping off for launching that Series 2 Xbox controller.
Oh yeah.
I was like, Snapchatted you earlier. I was like, we're in here. Put a few bucks down. I'm like, definitely going to be useful for Borderlands, Gears, and whatever. Halo, especially for me. I don't know. I still gotta get used to the mouse and keyboard thing. But yeah, man, let's get into it really quick. So San Diego Comic-Con. Marvel had their panel yesterday, and they pretty much broke the internet in general.
They just broke everything.
And I was like, man, like I don't know what's gonna happen in Phase 4, and we got a lot to talk about, man. There's
10 movies and shows that have confirmed dates.
Yeah, and I really like, so really quick for everyone who's listening, they're incorporating, Disney Plus, their streaming service. It's supposed to launch later this year. I think in November, right before Christmas. I don't know. But it's more of the Disney Plus is going to be, the Disney Plus series are going to be into the MCU in general. So I thought that was kind of cool.
It's all interwoven perfectly.
It's all going to connect.
Unlike the past Marvel TV shows, they're just like kind of in their own thing.
Yeah, and I like it now how they're doing it to where, we have Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, but I always felt like it was more one-sided connected. So, I mean, it was all in the same shared universe, but, the movies never really mention, the smaller street heroes, I guess you could say. Probably rightfully so, but it was kind of just more one-sided connection, but affecting everything on a smaller personal level when it came to the Netflix shows. I still haven't watched Daredevil yet.
I am kind of curious in general as to the kind of budget the shows are going to have. Is it going to be like comparable to the movies? Because I've always kind of had an issue with superhero TV shows just having like a worse budget, so they just won't look as good as the movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully now, hopefully we'll get like Daredevil and Luke Cage in them later on, but hopefully Marvel knows what they're doing. I have faith in Disney/Marvel, whatever you want to call them in general. So should be interesting, man. But let's get this ball rolling. So starting off, Phase 4, we got Black Widow coming out.
Oh yeah,
May 1st, 2020.
2020.
So this is supposed to be directed by Kate Shortland and starring Jessica. I was gonna say Jessica Johansson. Wow, Scarlett Johansson. Excuse me. Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Rachel Weisz, and O.T. Fagbin.
I'm not sure about that one.
I can't really pronounce it. Fagbin. I don't know, but. Yeah, so apparently they said that this is supposed to set between the Black Widow movie is supposed to be more about her past, and it's
after Civil War, before Endgame,
right?
Or before Infinity War.
Before Infinity War. So it's after Civil War. Yeah, after Civil War, before Infinity War.
Yeah.
/ Endgame. Because it's all one giant movie anyway, so who cares? But yeah,
going into it, I wasn't really that excited for this, but then once they announced the cast and then they showed, or we didn't see it, but we kind of heard what the little sneak peek they showed. I'm very excited for this.
See, I haven't even seen the sneak peek yet, and I need to.
Well, they didn't show it like to the public yet, but they just
okay. I was gonna say
people described what they saw.
Okay, yeah, there was so many different trailers that dropped this week. It was like, holy crap! You got Picard, you got Chapter 2, we got, oh my gosh, Top Gun Maverick, and something else I'm drawing a blank on, but never mind, it'll come back to me. Watchmen, that's what it was. Wow. But yeah, man, they're kicking things off, man. This cast is stacked. I was like, we got our boy David Harbour in here from Stranger Things. We got Rachel Weisz coming in.
I wonder what character she's gonna play.
I don't know. He's all over the place.
I heard David Harbour is gonna be like kind of like the Russian version of Captain America, which is like really interesting and cool and weird.
Captain the Russian. Oh.
I forgot what his name is, but we can look it up.
He's carrying over his flag from at the end of Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah,
that's it. For all we know, that could be his origin story.
and Florence Pugh, she was just in Midsommar, and that's the first I've seen of her, but she seems like a very good actress.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say she looked very familiar for a second. I was like, I've seen her in something. I haven't seen Midsommar yet.
But apparently she's gonna be playing a different Black Widow, so people are saying that.
No, there's
going to be kind of a torch passed between Scarlett Johansson and her for the new Black Widow moving forward.
Okay, that makes more sense. I got you. That's pretty interesting. And let's see. Up next we have after Black Widow. We're just gonna go through the entire Marvel Phase 4 really quick.
We'll go in order though, so it makes sense.
So in order, we have Black Widow coming up first, May 1st, 2020, and then November 6th, 2020, we have The Eternals, which I'm very, very excited about because my boy Richard Madden, aka Rob Stark, is gonna be inside. I'm so excited.
This cast is
very stacked. Directed by Chloe Zhao.
I've heard good things.
Huh?
Yeah. I've heard good things about Chloe Zhao.
Okay. I'll have to see what else she's directed in general. I really don't know. Trying to think. Oh, so it's gonna star Angelina Jolie, Richard Madden, Kamal Nanjiani's gonna be in it too. What?
Yeah, my boy Kamal.
Oh man. Let's see what else. Lauren Ridloff, Brian
Tyree Henry. He's everywhere right now.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh.
He was just in Chucky. He's just in so many movies.
Don Lee,
Salma Hayek,
and Leah McHugh.
So we don't really know anything about this movie because it's like kind of an obscure property, but I'm getting like Guardians of the Galaxy vibes where no one really knows going into it, but then it's just going to blow our minds.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy first came out, and it was like they just scraped like the bottom of the barrel when it came to those Marvel superheroes. I did get a few Eternals comic books during Free Comic Book Day, just because I don't know what issues they are. I just wanted to pick something where I can kind of like follow on with the story. I think I have like issues like 1, 2, and 3 of whatever storyline. I can't really remember, but I'm so freaking pumped for that, man. I think because they didn't really during their panel, they didn't really they kind of announced everything in random bits. So I think the Eternals was the first thing that they announced, even though Black Widow is coming out first.
And I think they kind of just went over the cast, but none of the story details or anything.
Right. And moving into fall 2020, we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's going to be on Disney Plus streaming service. So I think it's safe to say, I think it is supposed to come out. Disney Plus is supposed to come out on November, yeah. So, of course, we got Sebastian Stan and we got Anthony Mackie playing their respective roles. I don't know when this is supposed to fit into the timeline. I'm assuming after.
I'm pretty sure it's after Endgame.
Endgame, since, I mean, Captain America's pretty much dead.
Anthony Mackie came out on stage with the Captain America shield, so.
Yeah. And so did my girl, Natalie Portman. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Did you see what happened during the Falcon and Winter Soldier one, though?
No, what happened?
Helmut Zemo, came up on the screen, in the character. And she says, I'm coming after you guys. And then he put on his purple mask, the one he's famous for in the comics.
Nice.
So he's going to be, a super villain now.
That's going to be awesome.
He's, an underrated villain in the MCU. Because he, controlled all of Civil War and Winter Soldier, kind of.
That's going to be, yeah. Zemo's going to be, that's going to be a nice little twist, man.
He's got that purple helmet now.
He's like, I'm no longer just a man, just an ordinary man. I have a purple helmet now. So that's going to be a lot of fun. What else do we got? Forgive us. We're kind of going through this.
2021.
Yeah, 2021, February 12th. We have Shanghai and the Legend.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yes.
Starring Simu Liu, Tony Leung, and Aquafina? Wait, what?
Aquafina, Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh my God!
The farewell.
Right.
The farewell.
Yes.
You haven't seen it yet, but
how could I forget? I was like, am I reading that right? Am I reading that right? I'm like, I don't even know. Yeah.
So Simu Liu is playing Shang-Chi apparently, and he went up on stage and said that he got the call that he was cast on Tuesday, last Tuesday.
Wow. They're like, hey, we need you to come out.
Yeah, he came to Comic-Con a few days later,
San Diego, to reveal this to the world.
So. Apparently, one of the guys from Power Rangers was in the final cut down for possibilities, but he didn't make it. I forgot what color Power Ranger he was in the new movie.
Hopefully it's the Red Ranger. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. So
this movie is gonna have the Mandarin, the real Mandarin in it.
The real man, not the one from
not Ben Kingsley.
What was that? Iron Man 3? Yeah. I mean, he said he wasn't the real Mandarin, so this is actually kind of a perfect setup.
It's gonna be. How do you think a kung fu movie will work in the MCU?
I don't know, but I think it's gonna be bad fucking ass, dude.
Because they kind of had it with the Iron Fist movie.
Yeah, I watched a few through the. I know a lot of people don't like the Iron Fist, but I kind of liked it all together. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty interesting, just in general. But that's gonna be. I'm super excited for that.
Everyone's saying this is gonna crush in the Chinese markets. It's gonna be $1 billion movie no matter what.
That and probably Mulan too.
Yeah.
That's looking very interesting. I'm glad they're not just making a rehash of the same old movie. But we'll get into that later.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. And then, so after Shang-Chi, we have in spring 2021, we have WandaVision. It's also going to be a Disney Plus TV show. So it's still a really weird name to me.
And it's interesting because they're saying it's post-Endgame. So that means they're going to have to revive Vision in some way.
Or it might be post Endgame.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
Hmm. I was gonna say, I'm like, well, maybe it's just the time between the events of Civil War and Infinity War, because they spent a lot of time together. I mean, they were living in Scotland, but I mean that was for other reasons as well. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm all for oops, I'm all for Paul Bettany and especially Elizabeth Olsen coming back. And well, I mean, Elizabeth Olsen isn't dead anyway. She had her time on screen. That was pretty freaking awesome.
You'll remember me.
Oh yeah, I was like, I don't even know who you are.
You will.
But yeah, we don't know too much about that. But I mean,
What we did hear is that Elizabeth Olsen said this will be the show where like the official Scarlet Witch comes out, like the actual witch part. So she'll have more like the dark arts.
Oh, it might be more of a horror film or esque. Well, I know that. Well, one of the other Disney movies or Marvel movies with Doctor Strange. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's supposed to be more of a horror. But yeah, so we have that coming out spring 2021, and we also have Loki coming out.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
this
Tom
one's
Hiddleston coming out
really
on
interesting.
stage. Yeah,
this one's interesting because
he,
it takes place after he gets the cube in Endgame.
Yep. Yeah, he created his own little timeline.
So that means it's when he's still like a douche.
Pretty much.
He hadn't had his arc in Ragnarok yet.
Right.
So see what kind of Loki we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I'm down for some more mischief Loki, man. Like I kind of miss it. I mean, he still is mischievous, but he was definitely more of a dick. Later on, I mean, earlier on within Marvel.
Yeah.
But that's going to be interesting too. So we have WandaVision and Loki both coming out spring 2021. And then this is also technically spring 2021, May 7th. We have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
That title.
And I'm like, ooh. And this is supposedly supposed to be a horror film.
Yeah, it's the first MCU horror film.
Yeah, we got Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch getting some more screen time. She didn't really have too much coming into this, so it's good to see her.
I'm really happy about that because I mean, I belong to like maybe the 8% of people in the world who like Age of Ultron, but like she was like my favorite reason. I was like, oh man, she's really awesome, and I always knew about her in X-Men, but I just wanted to see how she was going to play out on screen, and then Quicksilver had to die. But
yeah,
but
and then the villain for this movie is Nightmare, which is so badass.
Yeah, that's
He's such a good villain.
Yeah, and this is all directed by Scott Derrickson. I'm not sure what else he's directed.
He did the first Doctor Strange.
Oh, did he? Okay. I really like the first Doctor Strange. I know a lot of people didn't, but
it has the best visuals like in the MCU.
Super freaking trippy too, man. It's insane. Oh my gosh. And then moving on, we have Hawkeye. Wait, no, I'm sorry. We have
What If?
We have the Marvel What If coming out in summer 2021. Also going to be on Disney Plus streaming service as well, starring Jeffrey Wright, Chris Evans, and Haley Atwell. And I said, uh-oh.
And then there's like 20 other people in it too.
Yeah, like pretty
much everyone. Cast. Yeah, everyone from the MCU is in it.
Right, which is...
And it's the first ever animated MCU show.
Oh, this is going to be animated. Okay.
Yep.
I'm actually interested in that because I enjoy DC's animated movies. So hopefully they'll share some kind of similarities or do something else that'll totally blow our minds.
So basically, Jeffrey Wright's going to be like the narrator. He's going to be one of the Watchers. Remember from Guardians?
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be a Watcher, like telling these different stories of what if this happened in the MCU, and they'll show different characters doing crazy stuff.
Okay. I'm all for that, man, honestly, just in general. Let's see what else. Oh, and also there's a lot of stuff happening in 2021. And then we also have in fall 2021, Hawkeye's getting his own Disney Plus TV show. So I'm very excited. I'm sure Jeremy Renner is, he's getting more screen time as well. But that logo for it looks a little weird. I really like the logo for.
Apparently, it's from a comic book run. It's like supposed to mirror that.
Well, that's good. I really like how Marvel is. They're taking the time, even though half of these not villains, or superheroes in general who normally don't get a lot of screen time are going to be getting more of a spotlight, because that's always a good thing in my book. And Devin has stepped away from the camera for a second. I have no clue what he's doing. Oh, he's grabbing water. There we go. Black Panther.
The glories of your computer being in the kitchen.
He said, "Hold on one second." He's like, well, "Let me take a swig. Look at that. That crisp. What kind of water is it? Dasani?"
We're not sponsored, but it's Ice Mountain. The Ice Mountain guy.
Yes, we are not sponsored. None of this is sponsored. It could be. I wish we were sponsored, but that's okay. That's totally fine. But going on to November 5th, 2021, Thor: Love and Thunder, directed by Taika Waititi.
This logo looks so good.
I think it's my favorite one next to the Doctor Strange logo as well.
Yeah.
And of course, Chris Hemsworth coming back, and we got Natalie Portman coming back as well.
That's a shocker.
Yeah.
Everyone thought she was done.
I thought she was done too. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be like the girl version of Thor,
Lady Thor."
Lady Thor." So that's gonna be sweet. I don't know what it's gonna entail, but I mean, if it's anything like Thor Ragnarok, I'm all on board in general. Man, and then there's also a few more Marvel movies coming out in 2022 because they generally do 3 a year, and then but since they're incorporating Disney Plus show, which I think will actually incorporate more people to start getting into the MCU in general, instead of like, oh, I don't go to the movies all that much, but when I go, I always normally go see a Marvel movie. But I think this will incorporate and help people watch them all the way through, because I believe all the Marvel movies will be on Disney Plus streaming service as well. But apparently there's supposed to be 3 Marvel movies coming out in 2022. In 2022 on February 18th, May 6th, and July 29th. But we don't know what those are. But in other news, again, Kevin Feige had even more to say.
Just drop that mic.
Literally, we have Black Panther 2 that's in development. We have Guardians. Wakanda forever. Ibombe. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which we already knew was happening. Captain Marvel 2, Fantastic Four, and a new Blade. Mahershala Ali.
It's the perfect casting that I could never have thought of, but it's so perfect.
It's going to be amazing, man. Like,
He already looks like Blade. It's so crazy.
He really does. And I always thought, I'm like, okay, number one, like once they introduce mutants into the MCU, I'm like, who's gonna play who? Because that's always very important. And then also, what else? Yeah, like I was like, okay, I saw the Wesley Snipes Blade movies. Like they were really cool. I liked them a lot. But I was like, who's gonna play Blade if they like introduce Blade into the MCU? Because they do make a little bit of a vampire reference in Thor Ragnarok when Korg is like helping Thor pick out his weapon. He's like, hey mate. He's like, what do you think of this one? He's like, it looks like there's like you can kill 3 vampires huddled together. And then I watched this one video. This one guy literally like took that entire phrase and like somehow read so far in between the lines that he's like, oh my god, so like aliens know about vampires, which we always thought is more of like an earthly thing. So does that mean that Blade can be introduced into the MCU? It was awesome. Dude, Mahershala Ali just came out of nowhere and just put that Blade hat on, and the place just went wild. Like,
so we don't know if this is going to be Phase 4 or Phase 5, but it definitely seems like they're setting up like more of a supernatural element in this next phase,
and which I really like a lot. I mean, we've gone from like the humble homey Earth stories, and we're getting more into cosmic entities with apparently Nick Fury is just somewhere out in space with the freaking Skrulls doing whatever.
He's searching for the space shield, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll see like either Secret Wars, which the Russo brothers said that they would come back if Disney ever wanted to do Secret Wars, which is awesome. But I think they definitely deserve a long deserved break after pretty much shooting 2 movies back to back. Because like we pretty much
the
got
highest grossing
spoiled.
movie of all time.
Yeah. Yes. And that's another thing. Freaking Avatar is at the bottom. Well, it's not at the bottom. It's number 2 right
You're
now.
not first, you're last.
I was very, very excited. They're like, oh, by the way, Endgame is going to pass Avatar in a number of days. And James Cameron's is going to be like, oh, well, that's really nice. That's very interesting. Whatever. But I don't
Come
know.
up out of the water and just be like, whatever.
Everyone cares so much. A lot of our friends don't care, but we care in general. But
It's just cool to be a part of that moment.
yeah. And oh my gosh, what else? What else do we have?
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, yeah. Fantastic Four is coming
Marvel's
out.
first family.
I want to know who's gonna play who.
It's got to be John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. It has to be.
That would be pretty amazing.
And then maybe like Zac Efron as Human Torch. I've heard some.
Okay.
I've heard that a little bit. And the thing, I don't know. Could be anyone.
Yeah. Well, do you ever like wonder? Like, I think they were talking about this on the Weekly Planet podcast. They were like, they're like, you ever wonder if like the audience has like a better idea of like casting than like Hollywood does? And they're like, you know what? That actually does make a lot of sense. Should we go with that? And then it kind of just happens.
I feel like that does happen sometimes. Maybe not very often.
Probably not very often because, you know, they don't want the, general public running their business model in general. But yeah, man, there's just, Black Panther 2, Guardians 3, Captain Marvel, Fantastic Four, Blade. And he did mention about the X-Men coming into it a little bit, just
I think it's important that he mentioned mutants, and he didn't say X-Men, but he made sure he said mutants specifically.
Yeah, which is in case which they are, and it would be really awesome if they did the X-Men versus the Avengers, and then have it to where.
To that.
What's up?
It'd be cool if they built up to that.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. I'm trying to think what else. It would be really cool, like if they built up to that, maybe have like, Wanda be the kind of
House of M.
Yeah, or I wouldn't even say like hey, let's all get along. Like maybe she would sympathize more with the mutants for like kind of like turn on the X-Men in general. I guess kind of like a Dark Phoenix type thing, but I don't know. Or it's kind of all up in the air. Whatever you're doing, Marvel, just keep doing it because you're breaking the internet right now. In
Feige we trust.
In Feige we trust, just like we trust our old boy, Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer, man, oh man. But yeah, man, there's so much other things that happen at Comic-Con. I would really like to go one day. I'm not much of a cosplayer myself, but
oh, it'd be so cool to go to.
It would be pretty sweet.
Either that or E3.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't. I would definitely like to go to both. I would want to go to both, but I think San Diego Comic-Con would be on my list a little bit higher, just because of all the panels that you can try to get into, and just meeting just the most random people, just meeting them. But I feel like you can meet more stars, essentially, at Comic-Con than you can at. Yeah. But,
well, do I have a surprise for you? Check under your chair. It's the both Comic-Con and E3.
It's like, Oprah, how did you get in here? Just sneaks in. Yeah, man. So that pretty much. I don't know, man. I woke up today. I was like, it's a good day.
It's a good
Sunday.
I wear some Marvel shirts today.
For sure, man. I got the Black Panther and Avengers shirt on right now. I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to touch base on before we get into our Lion King review?
I'm just so excited.
I'm just so happy.
We need to wait 8-10 months till Black Widow.
I'm fine, man. Honestly, Borderlands and Gears 5 will keep us occupied until then. Hopefully. And, a few other movies. Star Wars coming out as well. But, yeah, also in other Disney news, just in general. So we're going to get into our Lion King review right now. Devin and I both saw it over the weekend. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So Yeah, The Lion King. It is the remake. It's The Lion King, literally shot for shot, and
Directed by John Favreau.
okay. What's okay? Okay, I thought it was only produced by him, but so yeah, directed by John Favreau, and it's a stacked cast. I mean, you got Beyonce, you got Childish Gambino, you have
Seth Rogen,
Seth Rogen, who plays Timon. I can't remember.
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner. You have the King himself, James Earl Jones, coming back as Mufasa. I forgot who plays Scar. The same guy who was in Doctor Strange 1.
Yeah, Baron Mordo.
Okay, that's okay. And just a slew of great people. I don't know the kids' names for Nala and Simba, but yeah. So this movie is really it's cool. It was really cool.
It all looks amazing. Like,
Yeah.
there's no denying the CGI just looks incredible the whole time.
Yeah, the aesthetics were very, very pleasing. I was like, wow, this would be amazing. But I think what really took it out of it for me, and this isn't even the movie's fault, I think it was my theater's fault, because I think the aspect ratio was off. So I went to go see it in the Dolby Theater, and I didn't really care too much about it because, we both have the AMC Movie Pass. But, yeah, the aspect ratio was off, so they had the two black bars on the sides. So it was pretty much just like a standard viewing playing inside the Dolby Theater. And that normally never happens, especially for a a Disney movie in general, no matter what it is. Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Star Wars, whatever. It's always, the full aspect ratio, whatever the aspect ratio is for a Dolby Theater. And I think that kind of took it out of it for me. Other than that, I was kind of just annoyed because I'm like, well, other people paid to see this, paid premium price to come and see this, and they're showing like a standard version, a standard aspect ratio, and a Dolby Theater. But that's okay. But yeah, like you said, it was very pleasing to see. Couldn't really see a lot of emotion coming
we were
out of.
talking about that the other day. Like, because it's real lions, they can't really emote with their faces like they could in animated versions. So it's like they're kind of just staring at each other with blank faces. And then, yeah, they can't do any of that.
It's like, oh my god, it's like Mufasa. But literally, as I was watching this movie, because I used The Lion King is my shit. I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid, and I was just I was pretty much mouthing the word, it's script for script pretty much. I mean, there's
some changes.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I kind of like how they added a few small little things, like when Nala finds Simba out in the wilderness or whatever. I can't remember. I think they never really showed Nala escaping Pride Rock to go find help. It was kind of just Simba's just out in some random ass jungle, and then, oh my gosh, it's Nala, but yeah, overall,
I think one of the things that bothered me the most is the scene where Simba looks up to the stars and hears
Mufasa's voice,
but you didn't see Mufasa.
There was no freaking I was looking for him.
What am I looking at? It's just the stars.
It's
Come
the
on.
clouds. I'm like,
That's
what's
one of the best
happening?
parts of the first movie. It's one of the best parts of the original. Is you see him in the stars and the clouds, and it looks really cool.
Right.
Talking down to his son. And they just took it out.
They made it all godly, and was like, ooh, this is
like
the real
voice.
deal.
A voice from the clouds. It's just not as good.
Yeah, it's not as good at all. I was not. I kind of just went through the movie, and at the end, I was like, well, I don't really know what I was expecting, to be honest.
It's a good movie, but it's just not as good as the original.
Right, and everyone who I know has seen this movie, they're like, oh, they love it. They absolutely love it. But it's more of hey, for me personally, this version just isn't for me. It's and I really I like how Disney is, they're remaking their old classics because hand-drawn animation isn't as popular anymore unless you're watching anime, I guess. But even I kind of just stopped watching it after a while too. But It's not even because of the art style. It's just in general. I don't know. It's found other more interesting things to watch, and but I guess for this age of kids, like this is like the CGI age for them, and I don't know. They seem to really enjoy it. I sat next to like a family of 5.
The kids are all loving it. They're
Yeah, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Honestly, everyone can say, "Oh, like it's a cash grab, whatever," and like, "Oh, I'm tired of these remakes." I'm like, "Well, the story
This is for a new generation,
right?" And like they're saying on Lights Camera Barstool, how like, I mean, the story of The Lion King isn't even original through Disney. Like it's a kid's version of Hamlet.
yeah.
There's all. It's like if you really think about it, if you go through all of Disney's like classic computer, I mean through their classic IPs in general, they're all just it's their own version of certain stories that's like public domain. So it's like I don't know. People get like really pissed when they make a remake, but then if they don't make it to the T like the original, it's like, oh, they hate it that way too. So it's like you can't win with anyone. It's like, I mean, Disney's a company. Like their main goal is to make money. Like they're making money.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just not for me. I agree with what you said when you texted me the other day. You're like, yeah, the emotion just isn't there. So I grew up with the first version, the original version. That's totally fine. I don't want to sit up here and say, oh, well, the original version's better and blah 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 whatever, because everyone says that, and I get tired of when people say that about Star Wars sometimes. But everyone thinks that their version of what they grew up with. Everyone thinks their generation is the best, essentially. So I don't know, but. Yeah, I mean, was there anything else you wanted to touch base on with it, or?
I love the voice acting. I think Childish Gambino was awesome as Simba.
What do you think about Beyonce?
Pretty good as Nala. She didn't have that many lines, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, Beyonce doesn't like. I've heard her talk in interviews, and I'm kind of glad like she sounded the way that she did, because in interviews she sounds like totally different. At least from like a few years ago, from what I remember. Might be different now, but I'm really glad that she like actually went through like voice training for that. But she was killing all those pipes, man.
Of course.
I saw a video on Twitter. Someone was inside the theater watching The Lion King, and as soon as they're tumbling around when they're older, and freaking Nala's like, Simba when they're older, and then the guy's like, Beyonce, is that you? And the whole theater cracking up. They didn't even care. He's like, Simba, Beyonce. Beyonce. Yeah, oh man. But like I said, if for those of you listening out there, it's I would definitely say go see it, inform your own opinion, because the Rotten Tomatoes scores, I mean, it's another split movie, Just because critics like seem like they don't like it and audience loves it doesn't necessarily mean it's like an amazing movie. But people have to understand that critics' job, like these movie critics' jobs, are to critique movies. Whether they absolutely love it, their job is to find flaws within this movie and say this, hey, it's worth your time, worth your money. Or just in general, like whether you're gonna go watch it in the theaters or whether you're gonna pick it up on Blu-ray, it doesn't really matter. That's
and they want their critiques to stand out, so they can't just play it safe. They have to
They can't say, oh, there's things I liked about it, things I didn't, but yeah, go see it, kind of whatever. But yeah, I totally agree. But people hate on critics too much. Same thing with like video game critics, but that's a whole different scenario. But score time?
Oh yeah.
Score time. Out of 100, what would you give The Lion King remake 2019?
So on Rotten Tomatoes, let's see what it's at right now. So on Rotten Tomatoes, it is 55 or 54% critic and 89% audience.
Okay. Okay. 80,
So-
you said 89% audience?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm gonna go somewhere right around the middle. I'm gonna go 75. Because, like I said, I it's a good movie. Like a standalone movie, it's still very good, very well made, and everything. It's just, like I said, the emotions aren't the same, and they took away the freaking sky, the sky Mufasa.
I was like panning the screen.
I was like, where is he? Where is he?
Right. Mufasa, where are you?
But yeah, they took away the emotion. They took away Mufasa's sky version. So yeah, it's good, but not great.
Yeah, I have to agree. I would have to give this like probably like a 68 out of 100.
Ooh, even lower.
I don't know. I guess it was mainly because every single time I heard like Beyonce or any of the other voice actors talk, it wasn't like I'm seeing a picture of their character on screen, and it's like their voice and that picture didn't mix up for me. Like it didn't mesh well.
Let me explain on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever watched him.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But
he's great.
He explained it pretty well. He said it was basically like a voiceover put over a National Geographic show. Like that's what it felt like.
Oh my gosh, Natty G's.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah, I would probably have to agree with that because every single time I heard any of the voice actors, I could just picture their face on screen. It wasn't. I guess the immersion just wasn't there for me. I guess
That Seth Rogen laugh made me crack up. He had one or at least one signature Seth Rogen laugh in there, and I was just like, yes,
yeah,
so perfect.
They did a good job, and so did Keegan Michael Key.
And Eric Andre.
Yeah, and Eric Andre. Yeah, that was great. He was like, I need my space. Look, these are boundaries, man. But and who played Shanti? Lupita, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, it was very, very interesting in general. But yeah, 68 out of 100. I don't even know if I'm gonna pick this up on Blu-ray. I already have like the Blu-ray version of Lion King.
Would you ever watch this over the original version?
No.
there's your answer.
No.
It's just not the same.
No. Not at all. Not at all. No. No. Man.
Well, there's your answer then.
Yeah, that was actually a really good analogy there. Man. All right. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for that. Oh, I forgot to tell you just really quick. It was super off topic, but did I tell you my mom got Apple Music?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She was like, oh my gosh, like have you do you know who Ed Sheeran is? I was like, yeah, I know who Ed Sheeran is.
big movie star Ed Sheeran.
Right. Hey man, he did a great job in Yesterday. Everyone go check out our Yesterday review. In general. But yeah, hopefully this pretty much concludes our podcast in general, for everything Disney related that we just talked about. Hopefully the video version of this should be good. I think. I really don't know how to work
This is our first time doing it, so
yeah, first time doing it.
Us.
Yeah. Be patient in general while we figure this crap out. But either way, thank you for everyone who's listening / watching out there. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at BrokeBoyMedia. That's broke_boy_media. Over on Twitter, you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. And yeah, there's a video version of this too. The audio versions will probably come out before the video version, just because. Yeah, well, I don't know. Either way, if you follow us, we'll love you forever. Either whether it be on YouTube or leave a Ooh, that was really weird. Sorry. Leave a some kind of comment on, if you're listening to this on iTunes, or I'm not sure if you can on Spotify. I don't know. Kind of weird. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, peace.
Peace.
Wow! If you're hungry for a hunk of fat and juicy meat, eat my buddy over here because he has a treat. Coming down a dime, on his face he's fine. All you have to do is get in line. Ah, you ain't good.
Yup.
Oh, some bacon.
Yup.
He's a big pig.
Yup.
You can